All right, welcome back, universe. Let's hope this doesn't chug to episode 24 of season 3 of Off the Rails podcast. Coming to you live from the Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty Studios here in the weather changes every 15 seconds. Beautiful Grafton, Wisconsin today. Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
Grafton.
I'm not in Wisconsin.
Not yet. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, maybe interested in a career in real estate, email Roy at cdhsr.com or give them a call, 414-235-0763. They'd love to be your go-to for all your real estate needs. Check out Instagram for our pictures of our life-size Mr. Miyagi that Roy gave us today. Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the show today. We have the CEO and founder of the World Series of Comedy, Joe Lowers. Woo! Out of left field coming in. Look at this, out of nowhere. The Vice President of the World Series of Comedy, Jason Rowland.
Holy crap, you're awake.
Yeah, I know, it's a miracle.
We got the Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine of the World Series of Comedy today.
Holy shit, you've been getting funnier, Tom.
All right, and all the way from Crandon, Wisconsin, let's keep the Star Wars going with the Crandalorian, Sean Patrick Moore.
Hey.
I already like this guy because when you look up his comedy page on Facebook, it says it went against community standards and would not let me see it. So
I have a new one.
Okay.
It's the second favorite.
Second favorite.
Sean Patrick Moore is my second favorite comedian.
All right, we'll do that. Hey, be sure to like and share this because someone you know might need a laugh. So go ahead and share this episode while I do my bad joke monologue. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
We have trifecta walkouts on this show, and I named it Bad Joke Monologue so I can take the pussy way out when I'm not funny. All right, let's get started. We'll have an intro next week. Everyone have a good Easter?
Yeah.
All right, Jesus saw his shadow, so that means 8 more months of 2021.
Oh,
All right.
The joke monologue is delivering. All right, 40% of Americans do not recognize themselves in the mirror due to COVID stress. This is a typical response of what I like to call new fact. Here's a little tip.
You gotta send this in for a submission.
I had more, but I'm not going to say it anymore. That wasn't the punchline. We're just going to roll.
You bailing?
I'm bailing on it. All right.
Oh, do more.
In an apology, Amazon admits that some drivers had to pee in bottles. When asked where they had the crap, the driver said, "Nothing weird." You didn't do anything weird. No? You didn't like that one? What a tough crowd. All right. Egypt's first. You guys are not laughing on purpose now.
It's not that.
These are gold, dude. These are freaking gold, man.
Listen,
You're making it very easy.
A comic peeing in a bottle, we've all done that driving down the road. You know, that's not weird.
No,
I haven't done that.
I live in a van. I pee in a bottle most of the
you
time.
live in a van. I thought that looked very
Creepy.
Livable?
All right, Egypt's first female captain, Marwa El-Zadar, is worried about her job because she's being blamed for the Suez Canal blockage. Even though she was 200 miles away when the incident occurred, Egypt said that only a woman could get lost in a straight line.
That's funny.
All right, let's try this one. F it. Okay. Due to the pandemic, there's only 15 lesbian bars across the country. It was either from strict lockdowns or they didn't listen and chose to run while scissoring. Yes.
That's a good picture you put in my head.
Emory University found out that people can't tell the difference between screams of joy and screams of terror. Since I've never made Molly scream of joy, if you hear her, don't get confused, just call the police. I told you my phantom one was the end of the joke. What are you walking over here?
I'm sorry, I'm just, I thought you
okay,
said,
he's calling it.
no.
This is enough, John. All right. Captain Katie Hernandez of the 717th Ordnance Disposal Company set the female world record for running a mile in her bomb disposal suit of 10 minutes and 23 seconds. If I'm holding down a landmine with my foot, would you mind sending the slowest bomb disposal soldier? I want them to be just as invested as me. William, you're creeping on me. I'm ready to skip all these jokes.
I'll go sit
All
back.
right, China says there will be a robust response if the U.S. boycotts the 2022 Winter Olympics. There will be an even bigger response from the Chinese if you do not like and share this podcast right now. All right, Facebook hopes putting tiny labels on posts will help people from confusing satire with reality. Keep hoping, Facebook. Most people can't define satire. There's a reason they call it fake news. I finally did a joke like that and nothing. All right, William. Come on in. And finally, police are looking for a phantom lumberjack that has chainsawed down over 30 trees a day along the Thames River. As soon as we outlaw ghost guns, a phantom lumberjack shows up. Here's William.
Jesus.
All
this time I thought you were performing jokes. You're reading them. I didn't know you had stuff written down.
What am I supposed
I'm
to
going to
do?
try those jokes again.
Don't beat that horse.
I'm kidding. No, that's true. You do write something new every week. So all I want to do, I want to discuss, I didn't know if I'd be able to come in today because I'm kind of overwrought that the prince is dead. Come on. The queen's husband is dead. Whatever will we do? Seriously. Who's going to bang the queen? What brave knight will step up and give the queen a good rogering? What? Anyone?
It's a tough room today, buddy.
The queen is fucked. She's fucked. That's the thing. My granddaughters are obsessed with being princesses. They want for birthday and Christmas, they want princess dresses. I got a 7-year-old granddaughter. I got a 3-year-old granddaughter. The 3-year-old says, Prinzessin. I'm like, are you saying princess in German? She said, yeah, ich bin Prinzessin. I'm like, you do not want to be a princess. I told my granddaughters you don't want to be a princess because princesses grow up and marry princes who don't love them. And they cheat with horse-faced, dowdy bitches, the big-eared bastards. And they cause the princess to develop an eating disorder where she ends up dying in a car crash in the Paris tunnel. And that was our best princess. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
All right, well, thank you very much. All right, welcome back, universe. We got Molly's holding down the fort right here. We figured we're gonna let her do a little monologue right now. No?
No?
It's not.
We're going to try to get her for
Fixing something else.
2021.
You guys have messed up my green screen.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
All right. Well, we're back with the president and CEO, founder of the World Series of Comedy, Joe Lowers. Hey, Joe. All right, he brought his muscle with him, the vice president of World Series of Comedy, Jason Rowland.
Muscle? I didn't even know Jason was coming on.
It was a surprise.
I didn't invite you.
Oh, see, I didn't anticipate that he would want Jason.
You, I didn't come on yours. That's weird. That got weird.
Yeah, don't use that phrasing.
Also in the studio, we got comedian Sean Patrick Moore.
That's loose. You're using that word loosely.
We're going to get into the World Series of Comedy, but first, Molly, what do we like to do?
The hot seat, man.
Molly's like, I'm busy fixing the stuff you guys screwed up.
Right?
Oh, that's funny.
You got to admit the music. This is great production.
All right, guys, you ever have a comedian just walk off mid-sentence? Or another comedian pulling on his shirt while he's doing his monologue saying, get off the stage.
Next time I get a big hook. I'm just gonna hook
Get a
you.
shepherd hook.
Why should everyone have to suffer? Seriously.
Yeah, not everyone has to submit 5 minutes, Tom.
Okay. Hey, I'm saving money left and right. I just got told, don't even bother. We're not even gonna we're click the exit. Oh, Tom's again. Thanks for the money. Easy money. All right. I heard a rumor, Joe, that you like donuts. What is the best donut for you?
Jason, you want to start talking about stories?
Nope.
Cruise ship boy?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I love donuts. I have a problem. I'm fat. And donuts are incredible. Where were we? In Boise.
Yep.
Yeah, Boise, Idaho. And we walked by this really high-end donut shop late at night, and I wanted some, but I didn't want to be the only guy going in to get them. There's a whole bunch of us that had done the show that night, so I offered to buy donuts for everybody. And then
Was Nate Ford in that group?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Why do you say that?
Because Nate lives in Boise and he was in that satellite and he's a friend of the show. He's from Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
Everybody but Nate Ford.
Everybody but Nate Ford.
Yeah. I don't know. I love donuts. Yeah, I like to eat donuts.
What is
I
your
like,
favorite though?
I got some pictures.
You're
Oh, boy.
man.
Oh boy.
What is my favorite donut?
Yeah. Which one are you grabbing out of that bucket?
I probably really enjoy a nice white powdered cake donut, the really heavy one, but a good glaze. I don't really care for a super fresh glazed donut.
No.
I actually like a little bit, like maybe a day old donut, or a little bit like on the glaze.
I'm
not-
not. So
yeah.
it's kind of crisp off.
Yeah, and I'm not. Krispy Kreme is okay.
Okay. Oh my God.
But
They're the
they're
best.
not. Yeah, no. I mean, I could easily pass on a Krispy Kreme. I mean, I won't if that's all there is. But I mean, I like Dunkin', and then you got Tim Hortons. But the Hortons in Canada, yeah, they don't put enough sugar in. You guys are just pussies. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you
Maybe
can say
they'll-
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want you to lose a foot or something, Joe. All that sugar's not good for you,
Come
man.
down with the sugar and lose your
Why
foot.
do we start off? I haven't eaten sugar in over a month. I'm trying to lose weight. And when we start this podcast off talking about sugar, and I don't know how long I'm going to be on here, but that's all I'm going to be thinking about for the next 2 hours, 3 hours.
Well, maybe Krispy Kreme can win you over with this. They are unleashing 2 new Oreo glazed
Oh, my
donut
God.
Krispy Kreme.
That's ridiculous.
What do you
Oh
think?
my God, it's got double stuff in the
And it's
middle.
stuffed in the middle.
Oh my God.
That wouldn't even be good in milk.
What are you thinking about that one? You gonna take the Oreo cookie one? You got to give it a ride.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I would ride that like it's. I would ride that.
Have you ever tried a beignet? Like
You
from
watch
New
your
Orleans?
mouth.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. But how do you spell donut? D-O-N-T or D-O-U-G-H-N-U-T?
Not the H one.
Not the H one?
No.
That's probably Canadian, huh?
Canadian, British.
Pretentious, whatever.
Jason,
No.
what kind of car does my wife have?
She has a nice Mazda.
A Mazda.
Yeah, that's so stupid. That country is so dumb.
We do spell donut just D-O-N-U-T though.
Yeah,
Okay.
but how do you spell color?
Color? It also
Yeah.
has a U because it's supposed to.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, you guys are just lazy. You're like, I forget how many letters
You're
are in
letting
there.
the French creep into your language a little too much.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's very
English.
British.
It's
Yeah.
British, yeah.
Oh,
Mine
yeah, they still bow to the-
Calour. Chez you.
Oh, Canada. Oh,
far you get.
That's all I know.
Oh, we don't care about your country. Why are you still sitting? You should
You're
stand up.
Mexico to us.
I don't have to stand up. I don't have to stand up to prove that I love my country. Man. It's not part of the. It's not part of the job up here.
All right, speed rail on donuts. I need a yes or no. Do you consider these donuts? And that's where we're going to get into it. Babkas. Do you know what those are?
No. I
Like a
would
sweet
you guys
twisted
quit
bread
swearing
cake?
at me.
Oh, are they with the powdered sugar on it?
Yeah, they have powdered
They're
sugar.
kind
and
of
twisted.
crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my baba used to make those. I like those. Italian families make those too.
Donut? Yes, no?
I don't think
Nah,
so.
it's
No.
not a
It's a
donut. It's a
pastry.
confectionery. Yeah, it's a confectionery.
Yes,
There you go.
that's good, Will. That's a good call. Pastry. Can
I
we
have
have
pastry
that?
down here.
Yeah, can we
Pastry
say
donut?
can
Not
we
really.
choose pastry?
No,
if we want?
Napoleon's a pastry. That's not a donut.
What about a Danish?
A pastry. That's
No.
a pastry.
Pastry.
A pastry.
Coffee cake.
It's coffee cake.
That's
Yeah,
cake.
it's coffee
But
cake.
that's like a plain
It's
donut.
a
It
cake.
says it in the
It's the
description.
cake in the description.
Yeah. Does anybody monitor what he's gonna say?
High cross buns.
It's a bun.
Yeah, it's
Jesus, this is too easy.
yeah.
Tom,
Twinkie.
you're wearing the same shirt again, Tom. I've been on for 3 episodes. Like,
Same sir.
One episode.
I
and
told you I was a
full episode.
cartoon character.
Jason,
Yeah,
he's
and then-
testing you.
He's like Bart Simpson. The same
See if
outfit.
he's gonna
These
know.
damn Canadians always know what you're wearing.
They
Man.
do.
They keep track.
At least I'm on my third-
somewhere.
He's
I'm on
got
my
the
third
big
row
boy.
first. Huh?
Oh yeah, there you go.
All right, is a Little Debbie a donut?
No, it's a Little Debbie snack cake.
Well, Little
Cake.
Debbie makes donuts.
Yes,
They
correct.
make those.
You know
That
what,
is right,
Tom?
Sean.
You derailed.
A cream puff.
Nope.
Oh,
It's a pastry.
Jesus. You're so lucky I'm not in Wisconsin right now.
He would bitch slap you right now.
Oh.
Churro.
A what?
Churro.
A churro.
That's
Churro
Mexican
is-
something.
churro,
With the cinnamon.
If you take a churro and you cut it into little slices, you can make little donuts then.
Tiny churro donuts.
Yeah.
Churros.
Yeah.
Churro nuts. Look at that.
Churro nuts, Molly.
My churro nut.
Dang. All right, a beignet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Donut.
That's not a donut.
Yes.
It's not a
It is.
donut.
It's
Never
a
heard
French
of it.
donut. Tell him, Canada.
Yeah. The whole country wants you to know a beignet is a donut.
Right. Well, the thing about the beignets down in New Orleans, you got to eat them hot. And you're talking about, and it's loaded with powdered sugar. I mean, they stick it in a bag and shake it up and hand it to you, and it just ends up all over you. But it's wonderful. The
I'm
only
glad
thing
I
is,
had the
don't
audio
take
on
it.
for this. If I just saw that with no audio, I don't know. It's all over me.
I'm gonna have to get a little bit. You don't want to put much subtitles.
You're gonna be a GIF.
No, if you have to eat them hot because as soon as they get cold, they get hard as a brick. If you're talking about coming back the next day, it's like you can't eat it. They get really you got
They
to eat
make
them hot.
little donuts at the Mall of America,
Oh, yeah.
and we'll be there. We'll be there with the World
In
Series.
July, yeah.
Yeah, I've
I
been
love
thinking
those little
about that.
donuts.
Yeah, I'd like to stick my
We had
mouth
a-
right on the end of the conveyor, just let 'em fall
Yeah.
right in.
Like a Terry Gilliam animation from
If you get that on your headboard, you can just pull a lever and lay on your
like
back.
Homer Simpson.
Monty Python. I was going for Monty Python.
Okay. The sugar balls at a China buffet are those donuts?
I don't know.
The sugar balls at a Chinese buffet.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
round.
Chinese donuts.
Chinese
Chinese donut, yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't they
Yeah.
more like dumpling-ish?
They're normally covered in powder, like sugar, like a
Okay.
Okay. Donut cereal.
that's a donut.
That's cereal.
They have donut cereal.
It's cereal.
Okay. Can meat go on a donut?
No,
Yeah.
no.
What about
No.
bacon?
Listen.
No,
I had
burgers with the donut.
oh man.
No.
I had a burger, yeah, at State Fair, and it was between 2 Krispy Kremes, and it had, I didn't think it would be any good. It had the patty, ketchup, and mustard, and it was mwah. It was
Can I
awesome.
just-
I was drunk at the time, but it was
Can I
pretty
just
good.
mute myself and leave during this section?
2 weeks in a row.
Yes. Everybody's free to leave. That's when the show's
That's
over.
it. That's when the show ends.
Tom, your donut segment.
That's so funny.
It's over. Okay.
Okay.
I knew he liked donuts.
All
I wanted
right.
to give him a little donut special.
I
safe
love
word
the
is
donuts, but I
donut.
don't want to talk about meat on donuts.
Well, what about bacon?
No, I don't like bacon. I don't eat
Yeah,
bacon.
candied bacon with
Oh,
maple glaze
yeah.
on a donut.
That I gotta go with him. All
What
right.
you got to do, Tom, is you got to download like at least one season of the Great British Bake Off, and you would have been able to answer all of those questions yourself.
I've heard that. I've heard that. That's good.
It's such a good show. It's like so relaxing. It's a Zen show.
It's so ridiculous how much you like that show.
Yeah, it's so
I'll be texting you about stuff that you get done for the festival, and you're like, "I'll talk to you in like 3 hours, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
bitch."
It's my-
This bakery show, so then I have to sit here and wait
It's my
while you're learning to bake shit on donuts or
Did you
whatever the
guys
hell you're learning.
watch? What was that Ridley Scott show this year?
Wait.
Raised by Wolves. Did anyone watch?
Yeah,
Raised
I
by
watched
Wolves?
that because you told me to watch it. It's
Yeah,
really
it was
weird.
good, but it was really freaky. And
Very
so
weird.
my palate cleanser for that is I'm like, I've always been told that the Great British Baking Show is good and calming. So like there's this kind of like horror TV show, and then I'd watch like an episode of the Great British Bake Off and then go back to Raised by Wolves and then go back and forth, just so I wouldn't freak out late at night.
All right. That was your pandemic hobby, or did you guys pick up any pandemic hobbies?
I
Eating.
walk a lot.
I ate a lot.
Me too.
I haven't done it, put them up on I don't put a lot of pictures on Facebook and stuff, but I have pictures. I really did a lot of baking. I made banana bread,
with that.
banana bread, cookies, several different kinds of cakes, like a lot of stuff, all from scratch.
Well, didn't you do a bunch of woodwork too, or get your thing
Yeah,
set
I
up?
built a really incredibly crazy workbench.
And
That's great.
also,
That
Did
it
you-
has a built-in. No one cares about this shit. It has a built-in table saw, a built-in miter saw, a built-in router, a built-in 2 sanders, an air compressor, a shop vac system, and it all folds down underneath the workbench so you can have a flat workbench. But then when you need the tool, it flips up. And
built
it's I
I was
have
actually
I have all kinds of pictures of it.
Joe. I was visiting Joe when this whole thing hit. I was flying to Pittsburgh to hang out with him when like all the borders shut down and all the regulations happened. And 2 of our festival stops last year got canceled in Youngstown, Ohio, and in Kansas City. And I was at Joe's place, and we were like monitoring it day by day. And one of the things that Joe was doing, so the very first week of the lockdown or whatever, however you want to term it, he built a cat a play area. What would you call that thing that you made? It was like shelving for the cats.
Yeah, it's just it was a tree cat stand thing. We had a really old, beat up. You know those ones that are covered with carpet, and we had a really old, beat up one in our living room, and we had just moved to this new house, so I didn't want that sitting there. So I built a very like a nice 3-tiered thing with a hole through it so they can climb up onto the one shelf, and then it's covered with carpet on top, but you can't see it.
How many cats you got?
2. Yeah.
Living large. Them
Yeah,
cats.
2 cats. Yeah.
One of them's famous because of our voting system.
Yeah,
Of the
Zippy.
festival.
Well, we have a cat named Zippy. He just walks around the house going, "I got a website." Very cocky.
Anyone who comes to watch one of our live events can vote on the comedians as they're performing, and the audience score goes in combined with the judges' score. And we use zippyvote.com that Joe created from scratch and named after his cat.
Joe was just a
I didn't know that.
builder.
I did not know that at all. I didn't know where Zippy Vote came from. That's awesome.
I didn't either.
I watched
It's neat.
Williams set and everyone else in it live. It was fun.
So have you built anything with the building bench that you made? You just built the bench.
Well, I also built a CNC machine that you
CNC, what is that?
like
It's gonna
you
make
put
you
in
sweat.
you put in a it's a dance part. This is so nobody you put
CNC Music Factory you built.
it's a
Gonna make you sweat.
if you want to see, if somebody wants to see what it is, you just go to makermade.com, and it's a big 4x8 sheet of plywood that you hook chains to, and you can route out. If you design something on your computer, it'll route it out. I have the thing built, but I built the workbench to go along with that because I have to be in my garage watching that machine run so it doesn't catch on fire and burn down my house. So I'm not the type to just stand around. So I just built that in my garage. This one over here, the wooden one. I'm trying to find a picture. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of my workbench. I don't know. Could I send it to you, somebody, or how can I do that?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I built these.
Oh, nice.
That's our set, man.
I helped build the final table of the World Series of Poker. That was on TV.
Nice.
When I lived in Las Vegas, a friend of mine got the bid to do that, and I love building stuff. I like doing that kind of stuff. And he called me up and he's like, "You want to help me build the final table for the World Series?" I'm like, "Yeah, that would be cool." Cool. And he's like, "I'll pay you." And I'm like, "I don't care. I just want to help you. That'd be." And he goes, "No, it's ESPN." And I'm like, "All right, I'll take their money."
Yeah.
And yeah, it was so great watching it on TV and seeing all the professional poker players playing on the table that I helped build. And it was pretty interesting.
That was early on when they started to introduce like the lipstick cams so that you could like fold up your cards and they could see what it was, because poker never really boomed until you could see what everyone had in their hand kind of like in real time. And so the table that Joe built had those lipstick cams installed inside of it. Yeah.
And they're like, "What's that little hole over there?" "That's so Zippy can come up and knock your chips down." With his box.
Zippy's cool. I like Butchie too. Butchie's cool too.
Butchie's the greatest cat.
He's just jet black and he only eats like hand, like he has to be fed by hand of slightly lukewarm luncheon.
That's what happens when you treat these cats like royalty.
Listen, Tom and Molly are bird people, so they would not get along with these cats. They have a house full of birds. Tell them about your birds.
We have birds.
Birds are very cool.
No, he's got a bird that talks.
We got 5 birds.
Oh, William, you should get Jeff Johnson on.
There you
Because
go.
Jeff Johnson has the parrot, and he has like the great joke, like his closer bit is about having the parrot and how friggin' expensive it was and stuff. Yeah, he would talk birds with you. Yeah.
Put a bug in his ear. Tell him this is a good show, and then we'll come.
Sure,
William always gives me crap for not putting a ring on Molly's finger, but it's like, we went halvesies on a parrot. Do you know how long they live? That's way more than most marriages.
That's a commitment.
That's a
gonna
commitment.
cost more than
Getting a ring on a finger.
I don't know if you're going to do better. She's beautiful, so
Right, he's not.
Yeah, you should really jump on this.
I know. When she comes to her senses, then if she don't have a ring,
Make it harder for her to leave.
I honestly don't. I married my wife.
I gotta finish the show. I gotta get someone pregnant.
that should take a couple of minutes.
I'll be right back. I'll miss the thing.
I sent you a link of the photos on your Facebook. I don't know if that's possible for you to. I don't know.
The one person that.
Oh, you know what? I could probably put the link in here, huh?
There you go.
Yeah.
In the private chat part. Yeah.
There it is. There's
Tom, do you have any questions for Sean in the hot seat? I want to know how the hell that guy's doing. He's had some health scares this last year.
Tell us how you're doing.
We were worried about it.
Are you gonna make it? That's the hot seat question.
It's up in the air. I started taking a newer experimental drug for congestive heart failure.
Oh, jeez.
And maybe in a few years I'll get a settlement for like, did you take Entresto or whatever? So I don't know.
That's to look forward to.
Yeah, I've had heart issues since I was a kid, so it's not like a new scary thing for me. But
Jump scare movies for you.
Oh, I love them. I went to Disney World through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so I was like riding rides and shit like that. If you have a heart problem, don't ride this ride. Well.
When did you go to Disney World for that?
It was like last year.
Yeah,
Just riding him about his age.
He's a big kid.
No, I've
You
had
gotta pay that back if you survive.
I feel like I do owe him a body.
Hey, I don't see a tombstone, dude.
They're checking on him. Yeah.
No, I was 16 when I went. I've got diagnosed with cardiomyopathy when I was 12, and like when I was younger, I'd tell people I had a heart problem, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" I tell people now, and they're like, "Yeah, you look like you do."
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
Of course you do. When you were 16, didn't they offer you like Universal Studios or?
Well, I got to go to Universal, SeaWorld, Disney. They sent me to a great like resort.
All those?
Yeah.
You really?
They were
And I got to
trying
the,
Yeah.
They gave me like a fast pass for all the places and all the things. I got right to the front of the line. It was really amazing.
Did you try and add the bunny ranch to that, or like the Playboy bunny house?
I wished for other things first, and they were like, "Whoa, we might not want to deal with this guy."
No bunny ranch, but how about a fast pass? We'll negotiate.
I tried to get on Saturday Night Live, and they were like, "No, that's a Screen Actors Guild thing. You can't wish your way."
Yeah, or your dad has to die in 9/11. You know, it's one or the other.
Wow.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And Pete Davidson's funny, goddammit.
Oh man.
I still think that's the best roast joke of all time, is when someone was burning him and he's like, I'd like to be able to roast Pete, but no one can roast better than his dad.
Oh,
It's like,
wow.
oh my God.
Wow.
Damn.
I can't believe you're not saying sorry after that.
Well, I didn't say it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What are your opinions on the
there's-
Oscars?
There's my workbench.
There's the
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
That's fancy.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
this guy knows what he's doing.
And-
You could
and-
make those and sell them for.
I guess
you could
that
probably-
little thing right there, that flips over, that's a Craig thing, joiner, that's an air compressor. These are Sanders. I should show the pictures of them flipping over, but that's all right.
How tall are you, Sean?
5'11".
Could we get a 6 foot tall box? Just in case.
Wow. With the dark humor.
Look, we're on the 3rd floor. We didn't think he would make it up to the 3rd floor.
I mean, that looks really nice.
I came early, so
I
I told him the bathroom was on the 2nd floor. He goes, "Do you have a bucket?"
Or a bottle.
I sent a picture of the cat thing too, Jason was talking about, but
Oh, cool.
I keep wanting to put up like a little video or the pictures on Facebook, but I'm just busy doing other stuff.
That I like for the festival.
Yeah. But that's what I did a lot during the COVID stuff, was whenever I would be working on the festival, and I would get to my computer in one of the
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is a fancy. You said fancy. I didn't know you.
And you got
That's
both the cats too. Look, they're chilling.
How'd you get
Yeah.
them to stay there?
it was just a lucky day, and I was like, holy crap, and I grabbed my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about how you do it with cats. Because if you ever want them to do it again, it ain't happening.
Yeah. And if they know you're gonna get a picture, then it's like, nah, forget that. Yeah. So whenever I would come to my computer and one of the satellites would cancel or whatever because of COVID, I'd be like, well, I'm going to the garage, build something, get my head out of this crazy stuff. So I spent way too much money on wood.
I know, and it's gone up like triple.
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
Good thing I built them last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
Here's
nice.
traditional question I like to ask. Jason walks up. He's got a pygmy elephant. He says, "Look, I got us the last one." Then Jason dies. Only thing he's got in his pocket is a will saying, "You get the elephant." And the cops are like, "This is kind of like your problem. What are you going to do with a pygmy elephant?"
Me?
Yeah, it's yours now.
Probably kill it and bury it with them. No, I'm just kidding. I would keep a pygmy elephant. I don't know if that's it. Yeah, I don't know if that's an actual thing. So
Yeah, they're kind of like a little smaller than a car. That's about how big they get.
I really feel like my wife wouldn't let me get rid of it. So we probably would own a pygmy elephant. And then she would probably feel like that pygmy elephant should have a friend. Then we would probably have another pygmy elephant. But
That
somehow we
pygmy elephant
can't.
had a friend. It was Jason, and you just blatantly throw out, "Hey, Jason's dead now."
Yeah.
With Will in his pocket.
But-
What the fuck?
But I got a pygmy
Cherry
elephant.
Will's in their pocket.
You kind of
What's
got
better
on
than
it.
having
I
it's
like.
better than having a great VP. A pygmy elephant.
You got you
That's
got the
not a
land.
pygmy. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that might be a bigger one. I don't know why it's not. There we go.
You got the land where you could raise a pygmy elephant. You have enough.
I
space.
might turn you into peanuts, Jason.
Oh,
Like
God.
have your body crushed into like little peanuts.
And then
Okay.
feed him to his elephant?
Yes.
But if you get it at this size,
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, it's adorable.
Look
Look
at
at that.
that
Can
one
you
might
ride that?
That's super Photoshop,
I mean,
but it's
Yeah, that's not, there's no way that's a real thing. That's a,
If it was that size, like,
Okay,
It wouldn't
have the
2.5
tusks.
meters high.
it wouldn't have the tusks, yeah.
yeah, I'm with you.
What's
I'm
that?
Team
Jason,
Molly on
what
that.
is that?
Wait,
What-
really?
2.5. That's
What is that in feet, Jason? 2.5 meters. Do the conversion for us idiots.
7.5
down
feet.
South.
Yeah, it's just over
What?
3.
How many?
Just over 3 times. So just under 8 feet.
All right.
All right.
Macy says
Oh.
I use feet, inches, and pounds. So
Yeah.
like
Thank God you were here, Jason.
I know. That's why he's here to do the conversion rate.
Yeah.
Joe, you got off scot-free on your hot seat question. They asked me if I would shit my hand and stomp it through the drain of the shower.
Do you throw it in
You
the
just have to
toilet
take
or do
care
you
of an
stuff
elephant.
it down the drain?
That's one of my jokes. That's one of my
You
original
shower.
jokes. Remember, that's one of my original jokes I wrote.
Yeah, you have 10 more.
See,
That one
we
plus
got the right
10 more.
kind of guess this time.
All right. Let's get on with the interview
Nice.
here. All right. First, we got some announcements. Check out Big Laugh Comedy Network. We're on the Big Laugh Comedy Network. We're on Roku TV. A lot of fantastic comedians over there. Be sure to check out Twisted Dreams Film Festival. Molly, what are you at the Twisted Dreams Film Festival?
One of the co-producers?
Oh.
Assistant director.
Oh.
There you go. All right.
Nice
Coming up
done,
June
Molly.
4th
You put
till
me on the spot. I
10
feel
days
like-
later. Largest genre film festival in Wisconsin. We're going to have a good time.
Do you guys vote? I'm sorry to interrupt with that. but
No
is
problem.
there-
Keep going.
Is there voting with that film
You're
festival?
gonna sell them Zippy Vote?
Would you like to?
With Zippy vote.
Would you guys like to use the Zippy vote? Because I want to get it used more.
Think
platform.
we should, yeah.
You get to collect everybody's email when they do it. It's good. We'll talk.
When,
later. I'll
this-
give you a free trial.
normally
that
we
you can
do-
use for this thing.
It's a 9-day trial, so the 10th day you're on your own.
Yeah.
well, the 9th and 10th day are going to be in the theater. They're not going to be online, and those are going to be just premiered winners of the festival,
Nice.
showed on the big screen. So we're
And
gonna.
you
So what
can
kind of
have
movie?
people vote there too.
We
What
have.
sort of
It
movies?
used to just be horror, but now we went to sci-fi, fantasy. We added that as well. So horror.
I'm really
sci-fi.
envisioning an American movie vibe. You guys know that movie? The
Yeah,
documentary of the guy who tried to make the horror movie?
yeah.
That's such a good movie.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great time. Check out. We'll get in contact with Joe about Zippy.
So are
Zippy
you,
vote.
the fact that you guys run this festival, does that tell me that you guys are into Halloween?
Yeah.
A
Oh,
lot?
yeah.
Like that kind of stuff? Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we love it.
Yeah. My wife's nuts like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just build us a coffin for Halloween.
She wants me to build one. She wants me to build one really bad.
extra wide.
Yeah. She's always like, build me a coffin. I'm like, I'm not building you a coffin. Why?
Hey Tom,
that's
if I was in Wisconsin and I wanted to buy a house, is there anyone I should contact?
You should call Roy at cbhsr.com.
Roy.
414-235-0763. He might even throw a Mr. Miyagi. He's got a warehouse of them.
Nice.
Call
Yeah.
Roy.
Yeah, we got this thing because he used to be what would you call it? A sponsor, a mouthpiece for Roy, and he got all these cutouts made, and then happened to pass away
They did an ad
before
campaign.
they got to use all of the stuff.
They had them all ready to go into credit
Yeah.
unions all over the place, and he died right before they found
Well, so Pat Moretti was going to be the spokesperson for
Yeah, they had all the
Caldwell
commercials.
Banking or whatever it
the-
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
everything was shot and done, and then that just happened. Oh, Will's gonna get it, but
Yeah.
all
I
right,
wanna
while
see
he's
it.
doing that, the Pop Culture Podcast every Thursday at 7 p.m. We got amazing guests. Go check out gold medalist Mark Schultz. He was on the show, and he needs new teeth. He's having some problems. Check out his GoFundMe. Help out. He's a great guy.
Did he still have the mustache? Wasn't he famous for having like one of the best 70s mustaches?
He's got a mustache.
Yeah, he's got the mustache going there.
It's hard to see with the light.
He's got to go
Marley, you
No,
want
I
to
mean-
introduce the Trailblazers?
The Trailblazers?
Yeah, the email club.
Yeah, we got an email club, the Rail Blazers. You just go to our webpage, offtherailstm.com. Go to the link that on the top that says Rail Blazers. Sign up.
That name sounds very drug referencey.
Railblazer?
Oh yeah.
We're off the rails.
We're off the rails, baby.
I like blazing rails.
Oh,
I'll tell you that.
Me too.
It's not a drug reference.
That's why you get heart problems.
What? You can send all of those drugs here to 1111 Broad Street.
We'll test them
Sweet
for the club.
B201.
Well, someone sent us haggis because Tom was talking
Oh, yeah.
about it. Yeah, and then we have a tape of them trying it.
Be sure to
Did you
check
guys
out
ever?
this.
Did you guys
Oh,
ever
I
get
was
in
just
touch
gonna-
with Off the Rail Brewery up here?
We have not,
No.
but
I thought
we
I
should.
could send you the link again. Yeah.
Definitely.
Please do.
We're actually big in Canada for some reason, probably because they can understand us. We talk just like them, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Check out Movies with Mark with the legendary Mark Metcalf. We watch movies every week. We're going to be doing our Oscar special. Cool. And some of the things the boys are doing. Will, you got
Cool Grandpas of Comedy in Appleton, Wisconsin at the brewery there. And that'll be the 23rd of April. And it'll be cool. So come up to Appleton and see us.
That's Appleton Beer Factory.
Thank you.
Fox River Brewery or Fox Valley Comedy.
Fox Valley Comedy.
All right,
That's right.
John, what do you got coming up here?
I'm going to be doing some shows for Fox Valley Comedy too, but I'll be headlining the Skyline Comedy Club July
nice.
30th and 31st. I'll be recording my first album. So.
Headlining, recording his album. Come out and see this guy.
He's very funny.
Yeah.
I agree.
Miley, show my
Thank you.
What?
Hit my girl.
Your girl. This one?
Oh,
Like and
Yeah, like
share.
and share.
And share. That's the most important thing you can do, but we are going to get into this interview here. Woo! Molly, you got some pictures to bring up? We got a little bit of pictures coming up here. We got Joe Lauer and Jason Rowland of the World Series of Comedy. So Molly's going to bring up some pictures.
I bet you Jason gave you some pictures.
Yeah, he did.
How would you guess?
Jason's an asshole. And my wife is an asshole with Jason.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Here we
There
go.
Oh, that's
Very nice.
That's
Yeah.
This is in Sacramento
DJ.
after
Yeah,
Sacramento
DJ.
after one of the
Yeah,
shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Dan Fritchie, one of our former hosts, and,
Yep.
and DJ Sandu.
Who got hit in the head with a speaker.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan did. Yeah.
Yeah, during a show.
Yeah.
Great.
If you search YouTube for comedian goes boom, you can see the clip.
It's incredible. It's pretty good.
This next one's my favorite picture, though.
Yeah. It's
Joe!
Whoa!
Whoa!
Everybody, he is bringing the moist. Look at that. All right. Loving that.
I can't wait to share this with World Series of Comedy.
And we know a cardboard cutout guy. We're going to get a new one.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
This
What's
picture
that?
here is there's a candy bar in Canada called O Henry, and for the 150th anniversary of Canada, they renamed it to O Canada.
No.
And so Joe was like, "Bring me one of them." I brought him one, and he took a whole series of pictures of himself holding this O
Wasn't
Canada
he-
bar.
Oh, Henry's supposed to be for Hank Aaron because he passed Babe Ruth. So
The Baby Ruth, the whole
Babe
Henry.
Ruth was Babe Ruth. And
Oh,
O
I didn't
Henry
know
was
that.
For
Yeah,
the
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
That's okay,
run
it's a
record.
candy bar.
Well,
And,
why did Canada grab it up?
and the heiress to the old Henry candy fortune used to walk around in a bra. I don't know if you remember that time. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do we have a picture of that?
yeah, that would be great.
A picture of what?
The old
Ah, that's a good picture.
That's Boise.
barbecue.
Yeah,
I told Tom.
good
Right.
barbecue joint in Boise, but we went back the next year and it wasn't as good. But,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were not happy.
Oh, jeez.
Is that macaroni and cheese on the
Damn right.
burger there?
Damn right. It goes with the barbecue.
And like powdered
it was
sugar?
it was pulled pork macaroni and cheese grilled cheese sandwich.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, that got
I
the
love
heart
that.
going.
Whew.
Yeah.
And I think
I-
hush puppies or potato wedges.
On that, just hearing it.
And by the way, all that food there is Jason's. I just have that one bowl right there.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't eat that other stuff.
I
Well,
told
I
Tom
think-
though that
I think
But your
Dan was with
faces
us
were-
too.
Yeah, that's true.
I would think there was a third person probably. Your facial expressions rival Tom's.
You're pretty good. All right.
Whoa,
$4.
$4.
That's
Big
That's
money.
Losing money.
That's me winning. That
Yeah.
was at Fenway Park. We when I worked in baseball, I picked up this game from one of our season ticket holders where you get an empty
Swindle
cup.
your friends out of money.
Yeah, and you put $1 in every at bat, and then you pass the cup to the left or the right or whatever. Every at bat, and if someone gets a double, triple, or a home run, you win what's in the cup. And then the next person starts with another $1. So I won $4. It was like 4 batters in. Sometimes it lasts like 30 batters, and the money really adds up.
Huh.
I've never heard of that. That's a great game.
It's a fun game.
Brewers game. That's fun.
Yeah, we're definitely
It's
doing
super
that.
fun. Yeah, super
Pass it
fun.
to the left, but you pass it to the right if you're below the equator, right?
Yeah. If you're in Australia, you pass it to the right. That's that was Scott Kaplan, and he won $29 on that one. So Joe, you can see Joe's face; he's not super happy. I won 4, and then Scott won 29, and Joe won nothing. And yeah, Scott's a really funny dude. He's got some. He tells this true this story about him and his dad, like like running a racket in the cold meats industry, like mobbed up.
Very
but with
New
cold
York
meat.
accent.
Yeah. Oh, he's super funny. Nice dude too.
He'll start talking about a fight he got in and how he had to bust somebody's head, and like it's just a conversation. You're like, that's not a normal thing to have a conversation with somebody. Oh no.
It
like
is
I
in
went
his neighborhood.
Yeah, for sure. I went to jail with my dad. Was like, what?
Yeah.
To visit him? No, with him at the same time. Oh yeah, here we go.
We played a input.
I don't know if we'll
Should
get
be able
shut
to.
down.
It's so short. I don't think it'll get. I
Okay.
don't think.
Molly doesn't have sound on it.
Oh, it's not sure. I didn't share the audio.
That's all right.
Oh,
That's the
it's all
universe saying Facebook would
Dang it.
hit us for music. So it's Sweet Caroline they're
Look
singing.
at Joe's got some money there.
And he finally won. He finally won by the
Yeah.
end of the game.
Hey, you won. Look at
He
that.
got a 5 there. It looks like a 5.
Somebody had to break
Yeah.
it.
that's
Oh, what do they got going on here?
Where's that at?
that's in Boston at the shitty barbecue joint at the
Oh,
bottom of the
yeah.
hill.
But
Do they eat anything but barbecue?
Not
we
much.
try to find a barbecue joint everywhere we go.
But that's because you tried the lemonade that they said was sweetened and it wasn't, or the iced tea or something like that. Yeah.
Terrible.
And that's in Boston at Harpoon
Yeah, that was a
Harpoon
good
Brewery.
time.
That's walking
Made a
distance
pretzel.
to
That's really good.
that's walking distance to
It
Laugh
looks like-
Boston, which is the club we play in Boston, and we're going back there again this year with the festival.
Hey, that was a great room.
More food.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's-
we eat a lot.
That's him trying sour apple gelato at Belterra when we went there for the main event.
Nice.
I can't do sour.
Yeah,
Like,
and this
what
is
these are fairly nice pictures. I really expected worse.
this photo needs to be saved by anyone who actually knows Joe quite well because he's wearing pants and a blazer.
Yeah, I wore
He's
jean
wearing
shorts.
shorts, yeah.
Joe would be here. Okay.
All right.
And that's just, I think that was setting up at the main event in East St. Louis
Yeah.
in 2019. That's a T-shirt that we created with a list of all the people who've won the festival. That's all their last names.
I was wondering what it was.
Oh, you better make room for a Krolowitz on there, right?
No.
Yeah, but a Klein's coming. You heard my monologue. Ooh, coming for you hard.
Yeah, Krolowitz has a better shot.
You don't think I'm gonna blow my wad on this show?
But no, but
On this show. It's only my show. Why should I try to do my best?
This is going out for free.
we really should talk
Yeah,
about
we're getting-
getting Atlanta as a satellite.
Oh, that's so
That's
great.
huge. That's huge.
Well, let's explain the World Series of Comedy a little bit and how you took that idea from your brain and turned it into what it is today.
Yeah, that's kind of nutty. I'm just a comic, first off. And this started in Pittsburgh, clear back in, I think, 2007 or 8, when I was on the road, were the first 2 years that we actually did the World Series. And then I kind of rebranded it all when I moved to Vegas. And we started in 2010 was our official year of this whole season. But I started because I just wanted to help comics. I was on the road headlining around. I'd come back to my home club and tell the owner of the club, I'd be like, hey, this guy just opened up for me. He's really funny. You should hire him. And the owner, you know how club owners are. They're like, I'm like, I just want to help comic. This guy was so funny. I want my friends that live in Pittsburgh to be able to come. I want people to see him. So I went to the owner of the club and asked him what his slowest month was. And he gave me I said, give me the entire month, give me your budget, and give me 8 weeks of work for the winter. So we did it, and it went, and I told him I'd pack the club, and I did. And I just was pushing and working hard. And then when I moved to Vegas to do my own show, I was out there and I kind of put the World Series off to the side. And I was talking to my host of my show, telling him about it. He's like, oh, you got to do that again. And I'm like, I don't have the money to give away as a prize. And then I was like, what would they want? And I'm like, work. So I called every club that I worked for and asked them, explain what I wanted to do. And they're like, have you done it? And I'm like, nope. But I don't know if comics are going to sign up, but I want you to give me a week of work. And then I went to the GM of the hotel where I had my show and walked in and I said, I want to do this festival here. And he's like, have you done it before? And I'm like, nope. And I go, I don't know if they're going to come. I don't know if, the bookers are going to come. But you need to give me about 100 and some free hotel rooms to give away. And he was like, okay.
Wow.
So I called all the bookers and invited them out. And once I knew the bookers were going to come, then I started opening up registration and sending it out to comics. And all of a sudden, our first year, we had 370 some comics register.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the first year, I just thought it was going to be the 101 who got in. I invited everybody and said, hey, you're all welcome to come just to be out here. And I really thought it was just going to be the 101. And all of a sudden I had 137, 140 some comics show up. I was like, oh shit, these guys are going to want to perform. So I hurried up and threw together a late night show for them. And now we do 3 of them, right, Jay? Yeah.
Yeah, we did 18 shows total last year. We did 14 contest shows and then 4 extra shows.
My most stressful year I think I ever had, even more than COVID, was the second year. Because the first year, and you guys run a festival, so you understand, but I mean, like the first year I did it and it all went really good. And I just remember we have this meet and greet where we put all the bookers in a room behind a table and all the comics come in. I just remember there being over 100 some comics in a lobby and me standing in the middle of this big banquet room looking at all these bookers that I have been trying to talk to for years, just sitting there waiting to be talked. And I was like overwhelmed. I was like, oh, I can't believe I did this. I'm just a comic. I just had an idea. And then I said, let them in. And then the comics all came in and we got some really cool pictures of that. And it was fun and it went so well. And then the next year I remember yelling at all the volunteers and just being nuts because I didn't know if I could do it again. I didn't know if I had just gotten lucky. And the next
Everything
year,
going well is kind of an outlier for a running festival.
Yeah, and then the next year we had close to 400 registered comics and more, and we had another late night show and more seminars during the day, and I had people calling me and asking if they could come out and do a seminar, and I'm like, oh man, this is nuts.
I think the beauty of it is that it addressed a real big gap in the comedy community where comedians and industry didn't have the opportunity to connect in an easy and meaningful way. And I think that's what our festival does really, really well is we put together an environment where you can compete. So if that's part of your motivation is to go and do well at a festival. But the most important part is actually to network and get to meet other comedians. Like Will's met hundreds of comics from around the country. Sean met a bunch of industry people as a result of the World Series of Comedy. And you can take what you want from it without even necessarily having to win the competition portion. You can, a lot of comedians mention that a lot of their development as on the business end of comedy gets fast tracked by what we're able to provide in terms of the daytime seminars that provide advice and guidance. And it's something as simple as like learning what you should be including in your submission video that you send out to a booker, like, or hearing from someone who used to book a club that, hey, guess what? I don't spend 40 hours a week looking at submission videos. I have to run my club too. So just learning the practical implications and logistics of the comedy industry, I think, is a really valuable lesson for comedians. And I think that's why people sign up and why they come back for future
Yeah, I think
years.
it's why they come back too. You know, once they start to, or one of my favorite memories of Sean. Sean killed it when he came. The first time he did the World Series of Comedy, he performed at Looney's in Colorado. He was such a joy to be around because of his excitement.
Yeah.
And I've been doing comedy. Well, I know you've been doing it a long, long time, and I've been doing it, I think, 26 years, 27 years. And when you've been doing it a long time, one of my main things when I started was I never wanted to get burned out. I didn't want to be that bitter, pissy comic that's been doing it 20 some years that I remember seeing when I started.
Dobie Maxwell.
I'm not. There's some
I'm
comics
kidding.
that
He was one of our guests.
Dobie's
He's
a
not
good guy.
doing it anymore.
Dobie, yeah,
So
yeah.
he retired.
But there's a lot of guys. Like I remember, I was so excited to be at a gig, and then the headliner was just miserable and pissy, and I'm like, how could you hate this? This is, And so having this festival and being around the newer comics, it's so much fun. So fun to see the excitement. But Sean was so excited, and he did really great on stage. But my favorite memory was afterwards. The owner of the club is a huge poker player, and Jason and I both love playing poker. So he loves the satellite we do. And as soon as it's over, he's like, all right, let's get everybody the hell out of my club and set up a poker table. And we play poker almost every night at his satellite. And all of a sudden, Sean turned into a different person at the poker table and was very competitive, but he was just so driven and so fun at that table. And we had a great time. And that's really where I got to know him more than I did on stage.
I saw Jeff had a question there below. The World Series of Comedy is for stand-up comedy, but we don't censor the content of your material. So if you happen to be an alt comic or an absurdist, or I really like subversive material. I like it to be smart and sort of edge towards like satire, that sort of thing.
I think we might even be leaning more that way. Like I would rather see somebody die on stage and
doing something original. Yeah.
Push the envelope than to just say, there's been times when I've had somebody come up to us even and go, that person got more laughs than the other guy. They should have won. And I go, I'm not trying to be smart, but you don't understand comedy. And that comic was funny. He did a nice job, but it was really material that had been done many, many times before. The guy who won was original. He got good laughs with his stuff. And he took chances. And I go, you're not going to understand that as an audience member, so you can be mad at me in the World Series, but the comics understand it.
But the thing is, we watch, I mentioned this, I think last time I was on, but we watch hundreds of submission videos. And so you get to see the trends of like I call it like checklist comedy. So 3 years ago, the checklist was credit scores,
dollar store.
apps, dollar store.
If you
and then it's
have
kind
a
of
dollar store
migrated.
joke, it better be the best.
Yeah.
Can I say the F word?
Yes.
Yeah, if you have a dollar store joke, it better be the best fucking dollar store joke that's ever been written in the world. Because if that word comes out of your mouth, you're losing points with me. Like, unless when it's done, I go, oh, man, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, a comedian might get a laugh out of saying that they went to a dollar store and they saw the condoms, the pregnancy tests, and the hangers all in the same section.
They're all in the same area.
Yeah, but we've seen that from 20 comics in the same year.
How much was it?
Yeah.
And the bookers.
I asked the lady, I said, how much are these condoms?
And the bookers see that stuff too. And so part of our job as a festival is to help educate the comedians that they're going to end up being more successful, have longer term careers if they can just talk about their own life in a really funny way. And that's something that Will does really well, and something that Sean does really well, and Joe does from time to time.
Yeah, you can't steal your material. You can't, like when I hear comics go, oh, they took my joke. Well, then it's too easy of a joke.
Yeah.
Because there's things that you guys do that Will does in his show, that Sean does in their show, that if somebody else does it, you're like, that's not them.
We also we grade each video on a score out of 30, and there's 10 points allocated to 3 different categories. The first category is stage presence. So just like what level of comfort are they showing? What sort of level of experience are they showing in their video? Then the second one is originality. And so that's a huge, huge factor. And then the third, we kind of have an ambiguous section that we just call overall. So if someone does something
Please
that's
don't use that word.
ambiguous,
Yeah, that's too big.
if someone's like showcasing some really poor habits on stage that aren't necessarily related to like stage presence, whether they have like a just some habits that harken back to open mic, you know, where they're address the audience as guys like 12 times in a 5-minute set, or they're like I look like, or I know what you're thinking. Those are like 2 of the worst things to say on stage ever. So if you're someone who's getting into comedy, like try and avoid those sort of, we call them red flag statements, and that might affect your score as well. But a good free tip, if you're trying to create a video to try and get work or to get into a festival, try and have your best joke within the first 60 seconds of the video. Now, normally you'd want to close on your best joke. Like in comedy, they talk about a closer in your set, but there's no guarantee that someone's going to watch your entire video if you send it off to a club to try and get paid work. In our festival, we guarantee you'll watch the first 5 minutes of your submission. That's the length we request. But if you're trying to create a video for paid work, try and get your best joke within the first 60 seconds. Like hit them with your best and try and keep their attention.
So, Will, you've registered for the festival, so you know what the registration form looks like in the website.
Right.
But I mean, if you go to our registration form, we added another part on here that's just, I mean, I've always had a section on the registration form that talks about the video, but we made it even more intense this year. And then there's a whole section on the website just about the video. So it just blows my mind how many comics register for this festival or any festival, and then just send in any video that they could have.
Yeah.
So when they put their name in
Instead of, I mean,
My video was trash. It was.
Was
like,
it really?
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't make it in at first.
No, I was like a backup, and then
Wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't even make it into the wild card at first. He got
Right.
I think I called you a day or 2 before the thing started.
It was the week before the actual.
And I'm not lying. Probably 20, 30, maybe 35 comics had to drop out before you even got in.
Yeah.
And then you won your wild card, and then I think you won your next night, and you moved on to Saturday. And I don't know if I told you that or not, but I've told many comics this. I walked out, I'm like, what's that tell you? And you're like, I don't know. You need another video.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't have had to wait to get in. You shouldn't have had to wait you shouldn't have been in the wild card. You know, there's so many times we watched the show and Jason and I were looking at each other like, what the hell was that? I mean, like, it's so good. And we're like, why didn't they send that in?
Yeah.
Wait, one
Like
other thing about the video though, I want to, because if you do attend these satellites, you can get a video of your performance. And you can use that video to get into other festivals or the
that's what I
following
use
year on stages all over the country.
It
I mean,
blows
I've
our
done-
mind when a
What?
comic will register and send in a video, and then we'll click on it. And we're like, why are you not using the video where you won?
Yeah, the person who
Like,
won.
we voted for you at that. We already liked that video.
Yeah.
We liked that show. We moved you on. We're the same guys watching this video now. We're probably going to give you the same score.
The person who won the McCurdy's satellite the previous year didn't use that video that he had available and sent to him for free as part of his registration for the festival. He used some video that was like 3 years old that didn't get him into the second round of that festival in the first place. So I was like, what are you thinking? Like, you're not going to get a free pass from Joe and I. We have to watch hundreds of videos. We only go based on the score of the video you submit. If you choose to not submit your best, you're not going to get your best possible score. So yeah, that's a great point that you bring up, Will, is that we offer the opportunity for everyone to get a videotape of their performance at every single World Series of Comedy live performance. And then this year, we're also going to be streaming it. So your family and friends can watch even if they're not in the city that you're performing.
Do you guys do workshops too?
At the satellites, no, but at the main event, yes.
Well,
Yeah, we
no,
have
I mean, one of the most valuable things from doing the festival that I thought was like you guys' feedback after the shows when we go out to like
If
a
you go out
restaurant.
to dinner,
Yeah.
then and
Well,
you're
yeah, we
getting
do.
it for
That's,
free.
I guess that's kind of like a workshop, but
Yeah, it's like a nighttime seminar.
it's funny. Jason and I love comedy, and we really do. So we go to the show, and then we tell all the comics that are in the show, come out. We're going to eat somewhere after the show, so come out with us. And the ones I think that do get the most out of the festival, because we sit around and we talk about what we just saw. And then when that's all over, usually if we're stuck in a condo or something like that, Jason and I may stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning, still discussing each comic and what happened in the show.
Yeah,
We
I
do
know
it
that
all the time. It's like
at Looney's, we were. I know for sure that we talked about Sean said, and I think I mentioned to Joe. It's like, oh, he made such a smart choice using that name. Like, there's some joke that you have that I think in one of your bartending jokes where you name a customer, and it's like, whether it's true or not, but the name that you chose to use in that joke was like, oh, that's a great name to use because it had like a soft L or a hard K or something like that. And it's like, that's just the perfect name to use in that situation. That's how much we break down comedy when we're watching it. Like, that's how in tune someone who is involved day and night in comedy. And bookers will be like that at a venue or at a club. They'll be like, oh, one of the things you want to do is you want to try and create a signature bit, like something where you can associate a joke only with you. So that's why Joe was mentioning earlier, the more original you can make your material and the more connected it is to you personally, it's much more likely for you to get work because they'll be like, oh, that's the comic who talks about this, or Jessica Rosas has a joke about a cutie pie orange, and it's like, oh, she's the comic with the cutie pie orange joke. So the more that you can develop like really specific elements of each individual joke that you write, the more memorable you'll be and the more likely you are to get booked or to get accepted into festivals.
Yeah, that's just great advice. I could sit here and listen to you guys just
All
give
day.
great advice all day.
this is something I always say. Every guitarist owns a guitar. So every comic, in my opinion, should own a mic and a mic stand, even if you don't have a sound system or whatever. That's your instrument. That's what you use on stage, and you should feel comfortable with it. I've watched comics shows fall apart because they couldn't get the mic out of the mic stand, or they couldn't put it back in, or the mic was broken. The mic stand was broken, and they didn't know how to react, and then their whole show went to shit. It's just something you should have if they're not that expensive. And I mean, we carry a couple extra ones with us just in case one breaks during the show. It's just, you should have it and learn how to use it.
You'd also be surprised at how much the technical aspect of a submission video affects your overall score with us or other festivals, or the opinion of a viewer like a club owner or a club booker that's watching it. So spend just a few extra dollars and buy like one of those tabletop tripods.
Tripods should be, if you don't have a tripod, just quit comedy.
Make sure that you have the stage framed and focused. Edit your video to when you start your material. I don't need to see the MC. I don't need to hear your name being introduced. I already know who's going to make the video.
Do you remember that? I don't know if you ever saw that video where the one, this might have been before you started, but the video starts and there's a guy on stage and he's
like the argument. Yeah.
He's yelling at a woman in the front, saying some of the worst stuff you'd ever want to hear anybody say to a woman. And I'm watching this video and I'm like, what the fuck? And then he goes, all right, I'd like to bring up your first comic. The comic we were supposed to watch was after that. We know that. We know it because we watched 5 minutes. If that was a booker, it's done. As soon as he said that first word to the woman in the front, the guy. So just find somebody to edit your video. It's not that hard.
You can do it online for free. There's tons of free software out there where you can try it.
Yeah. Find a 12-year-old. I say this all the time. Find a kid.
Well, the other thing that you want to do is you want to make it as user-friendly for the viewer as possible. We had someone submit a video where their performance started at the 19-minute and 20-second mark because it was part of a larger show that they got a video of the entire show. And they're like, can't you just ask your judges to fast forward to 1920? It's like, would you ask the owner of a company if they can like fast forward to 1920 just to watch your portion
Plus,
of the video?
there's 4 or 5 of us watch. There's 4 or 5 of us watching the videos, and they're all set to as soon as you register, your video link gets sent to 5 different Google Docs. And the only people that can see that Google Doc is the person who's judging it and me. So no one else can see each other's notes. No one can see each other's scores. And you can watch, sometimes some of my judges watch in the middle of the night. Sometimes they're watching. So they may not be able to get a hold of me and go, was this the 1921 or was that the other one? Like our rule was we click on the link and we watch which starts.
Comedians
You don't
complain
want to piss
about
off
not
your audience right away, you know.
comedians complain a lot about not getting work, and they have this litany of like built-in excuses as to why they don't get work. The easiest thing for you to do to get work as a comic, everyone who's submitting for the most part is funny. The part that's going to separate you from the other thousands of funny comedians trying to get work at that particular club is how you deal with the business aspect of it. And so just make everything as easy as possible for whoever's at the receiving end of your request to perform at their club, as simple as possible for them to view, watch your tape, lie to them, tell them that you're going to be in that city and you can be there 3 Thursdays from now for their open mic night, and then get to that city that night. You know, like in-person showcases are the number 1 way to get booked in comedy. The number 2 is having a really good tape. So put in the effort to have a really good tape. It's your business card. It's your calling card as a comedian. You should put as much effort as possible into crafting a really good set, practicing that set, filming it well, editing it well, and then sending out and trying to get paid work.
And we understand that that's hard. It's what we're saying is not, when you go to, you plan it, you pay somebody to come in and film or whatever, and then the show goes to shit and some asshole heckles you and it's done. I used to say don't film on your phone years ago. Now I'm like, they're so good. Just like Jason said, go buy a little tripod. Everyone has a smartphone. You should be filming every show because you don't know which one is going to be the good one. Plus, it helps you. Yeah, and it helps you get more comfortable in front of a camera.
Also film this way in landscape. Don't film in portrait.
Yeah.
We have a $5,000 camera on a $1.99 tripod from Goodwill.
$5,000 camera? What kind of camera is it?
It's a Sony A6500.
Yeah.
All the money went to the wood, the logo, and the interest on it.
It came with all kinds of stuff.
That's why Tom can't have any other shirts. He's like, I have to wear this shirt for 5 years.
Spend all this money on the camera.
This
It
was
is a nice shirt.
This was a $1.99 at Goodwill.
Yeah, but you have a $5,000 camera.
Did you have to take care of that guy's pygmy elephant when he died to get that shirt?
Well, you have to take the shit and swish it down the drain.
Awesome. You guys, I can't recommend the World Series of Comedy enough to anybody who's in comedy.
It's a great
Connections you make.
experience, and the other comics that
And
you
the
meet from all
seminars.
over the country that you would normally, we have them as our guest. We have John Wynn coming up. We have Ray Danger Henley coming up. I mean, I've met some great comics, so we're gonna have some good shows coming up as a
Cool.
result of the World Series of Comedy.
Those guys are great. Yeah, it's fun. We love meeting. The festival's set up, and I think we're almost done. I don't want to cut into anything. But the festival's set up in such a way that we can become friends with the comics. And once the comics understand how it works, they realize not one of us can pick somebody. There's been times I've watched a show and there's a comic that I wanted to win and they didn't because of the other judges. And it's kind of frustrating for me because I'm like, oh, I really want to see him move on. But in the same time, I'm like, well, that means it's pretty fair. I have a good system set up because I can't pick somebody. Jason can't pick somebody.
And it gives us an opportunity to have exposure to comedians who we didn't really know if they would excel given the extra time. Exactly like Sean when he was at Looney's Comedy Corner in Colorado Springs. Like, if we wouldn't have been as just sort of even killed and not have or play favorites or have favoritism involved in the scoring, we didn't know who Sean was, but he got the same chance that everyone else in that satellite did, and he advanced to the final three, got paid work from the club, and I got a friend out of it, which was really cool for me. So.
And then also, like, for the national finals, I mean, you guys take yourself out of the judge, and you have bookers do that, and then people know that it's above board. These are people that don't know, and then you got different people in there, and then if you rise to the top, you've earned it.
Well, we get really excited. I know I do when I see somebody that we picked or maybe won a satellite because we like them and they scored well and did well, and then when they come to the main event and they do well, we're like, we did good.
I think I think John Wynn fits that category really well. The very best showcase I've seen live in my 6 years dealing with the World Series of Comedy was John Wynn's 11-minute semifinal set at the main event in 2017. It was in a perfect 11 minutes. Perfect. He could film that and he could send it off to TV and get paid work. No problem whatsoever. Then when he got to the 25, something happened and he stumbled, and Mike Paramore, who made the finals as well, kind of stumbled a little bit, and Jason Cheney had a great show. But if Joe and I had a preconceived notion of who was going to win based on what the semifinals was, it was John Wynn for sure. But the thing that the industry had the opportunity to watch, and just based on the final show itself, and Jason Cheney won, and Mike Paramore was a fantastic second runner-up, and John Wynn was a fantastic runner-up. I know that you guys usually don't have comics come on and run bits, but when you do have John Wynn on, please get him to tell your audience the joke about his mom at Pearl Harbor. That's just one of my favorite jokes of all time.
It's a great closer. It really is.
And the thing I talked to John about is he should be sending out submission videos to clubs with that joke in the first 60 seconds. I know he's burning his closer, but he's getting an amazing joke in the first 60 seconds. And he's the perfect example of someone who's even a seasoned comedian who sometimes needs to hear different opinions from bookers and club owners and stuff on how to get booked. And even though he's fantastically skilled, he hadn't even thought of putting that joke up front in one of his submission videos. And now that he does, I think he gets a little bit more work out of it.
Here's something that's even more important than anything is I just got a text from my friend, and he's going to come over with his chainsaw in a little bit and cut a tree that had fallen in the back so I could throw leaves away.
All right.
Very excited. Very excited.
Yeah, that is the most important thing.
No, but like John Wynn has a strong opener too, because that bit he does where he says he is eating himself into another. That is like the funniest thing. It's just like you don't even see it coming. He's eating himself into another ethnicity.
He also knows what he looks like, and he understands what you don't expect the stuff coming from him.
No.
And he says it so confident, whatever he says, and some of it's so wrong and so terrible. But he said, you're like, oh, I didn't expect that from him.
Well, and then one of the things that we were talking about is how we dissect comedy so much. And I was thinking, man, if John needed to do a 2-minute set for like America's Got Talent, he could tell the Guatemalan bit and then say, it wasn't easy growing up in the States as an Asian, and then immediately do the Pearl Harbor joke. And it's like, that's how he can construct his set so that he gets his 2 best jokes in like 90 seconds. And that would be killer. I'm sure he'd probably get at least a callback at an audition for AGT just doing those 2 jokes. And all it is having a different mindset and being comfortable as a comedian to remember that you're the only person who understands what the set list is supposed to be. The audience doesn't know what's coming. So you can rearrange what you think a joke should be or where it should go in your set, just as long as you're entertaining the audience or the viewer. So.
All right, guys, get your auditions in now for World Series of Comedy. Go to worldseriesofcomedy.com. Yeah, very much. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in today.
Appreciate having us.
Words of wisdom coming in. Miley, you got a couple of minutes? Yeah, you can.
Make an offer to anybody who wants to register. If they register because they heard it here, and if they email me after they register and tell me that they heard it here, I'll upgrade their registration to give them all the satellites or all online showcases, and if they
We
do
should
the,
have
they do the
talked.
full registration, I'll give them the whole. No,
We should have talked about how much you're giving away for this.
Hey, you're the vice president. He's the president.
it's
Bruh,
done. I
this
think
guy-
you probably did it last time you won there and didn't even ask me.
No, he actually didn't.
Oh,
No, I think that's a great idea, Joe. So yeah, if anyone wants to sign up now, we'll give them access to every possible satellite or online showcase.
Oh,
depending on
that
how
is
they want to
great. Yeah, I'll put that in the description.
yeah, just email us and tell us you heard it here, and
We're on Off the Rails.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll hook you up.
All
You
right.
got that,
What's your,
Jeff Lampton?
What's your record for guest appearances? Because I want to try and I might want to break that.
Well, I think we had you've gone twice. We've had Mike Gold 2 or 3 times.
3 times.
3
I
times.
didn't know I could just come on. How did you get the link? Did he ask him for it?
We
I know a guy.
asked him.
Secret.
We
chat
wanted
that you don't know
to,
about.
yeah, we wanted him to be also included. So we had asked him earlier in the week if he had time to come.
We've been talking behind your back all week.
So,
Good. Finally, do your reads.
Guys, you can find us everywhere. Off the Rails TM. Go to our website, offtherailstm.com. Sign up for the Railblazers Club. We'll be doing lots of giveaways there.
Rock it up. Somebody's
Watch
got
it out, bro. Leave. Yeah.
What happened?
somebody's got to use the restroom. It's been a long.
It'll be
It's
back.
it's a long trip.
So
Yeah.
Did
go to
you
our
guys
website.
show
Use the
him-
Amazon link.
Did you just show him a gender reveal video? Is that why he's
No, I mean,
Oh,
William might
boy.
have.
I'll show you the sex robot bit.
Sure we do.
We'll check the close-up cam later and see if he was showing him something under the table.
Yep, we got a close-up cam for William there, right there. So
Go to our website, click the Amazon link, shop like normal. We'll get a little bit of a kickback.
and remember, universe.
We're not good enough.
thanks for having us.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
It's awesome to see you guys again.